147 whooping cough cases have been identified from the beginning of the year to the 15th of September in the country. There's been a steady increase in the number of cases reported since May. We're joined by Dr. Mvuyisi Mzukwa. He's the chairperson of the South African Medical Association. Dr. Mzukwa, great to have you on the show and also to see that you've made a full recovery. Let's talk about this whooping cough. How different is it to any other cough?
Good evening to you, Kathy, and to your viewers as well. And thank you for your kind words. Look, initially the difference is very minimal, but as time goes on, you notice that with the whooping cough, you have a bout of cough that lasts for a few minutes, but in between those bouts, then there's a whooping sound. In other words, there's a gasping for a breath, that happens, and it makes a unique sound. That's why it's called a whooping cough. So that's how you differentiate it. But it would be, at later stages of the cough, not initially.
Comparatively, the figure that we're sitting with now for the number of cases that have been discovered in the country so far this year, where does it sit compared with other years?
Well, I think we are, if you compare with other years, I mean, judging from these episodes that have been happening in Cape Town, 1947, again, I think recently, around 2015 or so, these cases, they have a tendency to increase at the moment. The issue is it might be related to vaccinations. You remember that what happens for the last 2 years, there have been a drop in the vaccination rate of children because of COVID-19. Every service in the public sector and the private sector took a backseat, these preventive, promotive strategies. So that is why now we are seeing all this. But also, remember there's the issues of climate change, but on top of that, you've got issues that we have of service delivery in terms of water and sanitation, that we have problems now. You remember now in KZN, the seas are soiled with E. coli and stuff like that. So there's many factors, but I believe that NICD and public health specialists would help us understand this episode now.
I'm glad that you mentioned the issue of vaccinations, especially for children, because we know that the whooping cough does pose a particular risk for infants.
That's correct, because you must remember, according to the expanded program of vaccination in South Africa, which was started around 1995, we start vaccinating them, specifically for pertussis at around 10 weeks, another dose at 14 weeks, another one at 9 months, and the other one at 18 months. So you would understand that, even if you have a child who's about 14 weeks or so, that child is not fully vaccinated. So there is not mounting enough immunity against the bacteria. So there are chances that that child would be infected and be symptomatic and probably have severe symptoms as well. But more so to those who have not yet started a vaccination. Again, if you go to those that are 11 years and above, you might find that they get infected again because the immunity has dropped down. That's why they get reinfected.
So what are some of the more immediate interventions then that you would want to see happen so that the disease is also managed and we don't get to a point where it causes even more concern?
We do need to encourage communities to go out there and vaccinate their children. It's important also for healthcare workers. when they are consulting with children for whatever reason, that they ask for the immunization card and look at whether the child is up to date with vaccination. That's very important. I mean, it's good clinical practice to do so. So we encourage, even schools, even churches, to encourage children to go out there, or parents to go out there and vaccinate their children, because this can prevent, catastrophic clinical presentations when it comes to this condition.
Dr. Mvuyisi Mzukwa, the chairperson of the South African Medical Association, thanks for your time tonight.